Super interesting. A couple things that come to mind, and this episode isn't about pricing, it's about competition. And so I won't spend too much time on pricing specifically. That said, what I heard from you, Leandra, which really resonates is that in a product-led growth motion, you can undercut pricing if the competitors are using expensive sales and marketing resources to acquire customers. You also have the benefit of all in one. And so there's a number of things that I think are advantageous for your specific business as it pertains to pricing. The sort of counter to that comes to mind, I mean, to like period, end of statement in the product led growth, or maybe even segment based SMB customer acquisition environment. The thing that historically I have had a preference around when selling more into the enterprise is where we talked about this environment where somebody actually needs a sales rep. They want to talk to somebody. It's a much larger business. They want to have custom workflows built out or whatever. Their needs are more complex. I've actually benefited from being positioned as the higher priced vendor, and the logic or what I attribute that to is the psychology behind proactively positioning as the premium provider in the space.
Yeah.
And like with that, you actually get more. We are the premium provider. And I have to be explicit about that. But I think these things are almost conflicting with one another depending on the motion that you use to acquire customers in the segment that you are going after. But a couple things that come to mind as you were talking through. But I think the takeaway, at least in a product-led growth environment, is you can undercut competition if your customer acquisition resources are less complex as they
Yeah.
are in your business.
And I think it also depends on your product. So are you leading in a disruptive market where there's nothing currently established? Or are you a me too in an existing stack where you're having to then rip and replace and prove against? And so I love the premium aspect, but I think you really have to make sure the differentiation and the value hopefully is there to back that up. So somebody else that's just not trying to be a me too is saying I can do the same thing at a lower cost.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's move on to one of the last topics. We've gone through the funnel. Let's now talk about hiring. And I'm curious your perspective, and then I'll provide mine. But have you seen success in hiring salespeople from competitors?